Morgan, you ready?
I'm ready.
Eyelash check. Cut. Okay, on the set, go. What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
In today's video, Megan Fox says that she went to hell. Well, there's some more details around this and her, what would you call that? Just her interview, her testimony, her story. Very interesting. A few layers to this. Morgan, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, then start us off by telling people to subscribe.
Before we get into this, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We make videos on culture and social issues from a Christian perspective to help you have hope.
And be free. Give this video a thumbs up if you've been enjoying the Paul and Morgan show over the past several weeks.
And we want to say shout out to our patrons. We love you guys. Seriously.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for supporting us monthly. Huge. That's a huge deal to us.
Yes. If you want to partner with us in what we're doing here on YouTube and beyond, go to patreon.com/paulandmorganshow and join. Or you can do a one-time payment through Venmo.
Thanks, guys. Everything's linked below. All right, before we get into playing a few clips that we pulled of Megan Fox on Jimmy Kimmel, who's technically a guest on Jimmy Kimmel, Arsenio Hall, I believe is how you say his name.
Okay.
I've seen him here and there, hither and thither. Before we get into a few of those clips.
Look at the side eye, that's Squishy.
Oh, Squishy is sitting on our L-shaped couch. She's giving us...
She just gave us this sat. She was like this.
None of that, Squishy. Mom is about to take you to the dog park. Do not give us attitude, young lady. Before we play the clips, Megan Fox, pretty popular name. I think I've only really seen her on the first Transformers.
I don't know if I've ever seen her in another movie.
I mean, I feel like she's been in some of the kind of like darker thrillers. But she is dating singer
Machine Gun Kelly. He's like a punk singer.
And kind of an actor too. He's definitely an intriguing, edgy figure in his own right. Definitely edgy. So you got the two of them together now. And what proceeds is them doing some very interesting things. Here's why I'm saying this. Megan Kelly is about to...
Megan Kelly.
Former Fox News anchor.
Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox.
Okay, that's funny. Megan Fox is about to describe her and Machine Gun Kelly, whose real name is...
Constance? No. I couldn't quite hear what she said when she said it.
Curtis, Cliff.
One moment.
Colson. She's about to describe her and Colson going down to Costa Rica and like taking part in this intense, raw drug trip.
What's it called again? Ashwagandha? Ayahuasca.
Okay. Ayahuasca. There it is. They take part in this ayahuasca and she gives some details. Now let's just go ahead and get into it.
Let's get into it.
Nothing glamorous about it. It's all a part of sort of making you vulnerable so that you surrender to the experience. And the entire thing starts with something called vomitivo. So you go, and we were with 20 other strangers, and you all line up at like the edge of the rainforest over this weird fence, and you go 3 by 3, and you drink lemongrass tea until you, like, by not your own volition, just vomit everything out of your body. So you
have to vomit. There's no way around that part.
You can't get out of it, and you have to vomit a certain amount before they let you get back with everybody. So you're like cheering on everyone as they like throw up.
So my first thought is her and Machine Gun Kelly are seeking a outer worldly experience, or not necessarily that, but just like an intense, they want to feel stuff, as many very high up in the actors making a lot of money. They have it all, so to speak. What is next? What is the high that we can go for next?
Yeah, they've experienced so much and done so much that they're just like, what else?
What else is there?
What else can we get into?
This ayahuasca that they're doing in Costa Rica, and she mentions that like...
Middle of nowhere.
Vulnerability. You're about to go to places in your soul. This is the real deal.
It sounds like it's this out-of-body experience, this deep therapeutic, like deeper than you could ever go with any type of therapy, any type of like psychiatry, whatever. My question is, why do you want that? Oh, because you're feeling empty, you're feeling void of something, you're feeling like you need more, you're feeling like you need more answers, you're not satisfied with life. That would be my guess.
Okay.
Well, who knows?
But maybe she's enjoying life and she's like, ooh, this could just be the next thing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I will say, for those of you who may not know Megan Fox, nowhere have I seen that she's claiming to be a Christian, and from the stuff I've kind of seen, it looks like she's definitely living in the world. Let's go on to the next clip.
So we did it for 3 nights. It was incredibly intense. Everybody's journey is different. The second night, I went to hell for eternity. And just knowing eternity is like torture in itself, because there was no beginning, middle, or end. So you have like a real ego death.
I just feel like I want her to go into so much more depth of what the heck she's talking. Like, you cannot have a 3-minute interview on you going to hell for eternity, woman.
And then, of course, Arsenio Hall makes a joke about sitting next to Donald Trump. Hell. Leave it to any late night host nowadays.
Right. It's interesting because she kind of does, in my opinion, in the interview, just kind of like, almost, she seems like very unemotional.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, I went to hell for eternity, and it was kind of scary because like there's no middle, beginning, or end. Yeah.
That was interesting.
Like, what?
It's not like she said it and then she just started laughing like, I went to hell, bah ha ha. I was like, I went to hell for an eternity, and it was kind of scary because there was no and it's like, what's going through her thoughts, I guess.
Can we talk about this a little more? You went to hell for eternity. 1, what was that like? 2, do you feel changed at all? Like, what are you going to take away from that experience? Because it sounds to me like, and she goes into it a little more, just talking about like hell it's like different for everyone. It's your personal hell, like it's different. Which
makes me kind of wonder.
Yeah.
Did she go to hell? Like, and whenever you're on a drug trip, I'm assuming that can look so many different ways. I've heard that it can be very dark spiritually, but is it literally demonic stuff? I think it definitely can be. Maybe it's your own imagination.
Right. I would say that a lot of it, I would say it is completely demonic, but is it actually hell? Like, you went down to hell.
Let's just go ahead and play her next clip, and then we can, because that's kind of to bring her discourse about going to hell. It completes that.
How do you arrive and understand that that's what the moment is? Is there a sign, next exit hell? Is it,
I mean, it's your own psychological hell, basically, is the point of the medicine, right? This is a medicine that it surpasses like anything you could do with talk therapy or like hypnotherapy or any of those things. It just goes straight into your soul, and it takes you to the psychological prison that you hold yourself in. So it's your own version of hell, and I was definitely there.
I guess one of my first thoughts is, why put yourself through this? And again, like you said, she's talking about it so casually, not real emotionally. Doesn't seem like she really regrets putting herself through that. Is like, is she desiring so much to have kind of this intense high that she doesn't care if it's just this euphoric, amazing high or literally a hell experience, as long as I really feel something?
I think we're seeing like a lot of celebrities and just people in general desiring these out-of-world supernatural experiences. And Isaiah Saldivar actually made a video talking about this topic as well. He was just saying, like, people are desiring the supernatural. They want to see it. They want to experience it. And sadly, people are going everywhere but the church because supernatural experiences are not really happening in the church, or a lot of churches anyways, and it's not really known as the place to go to experience supernatural spiritual experiences. Paul and I were talking about this on the car ride recently.
I want to talk more about do we agree completely with Isaiah's point?
Do we think that Megan Fox, a Billie Eilish, a Taylor Swift, a whoever, these big celebrities, like, if they came into the church and just experienced a sermon just straight up the gospel, would it impact them as much as a service that was just like filled with intense healings and like someone being delivered of a demon and whatever? Like, what would entice them more, the just a sermon on the gospel, or that plus the gospel as well in that?
Because Isaiah, one of his big emphases, if you follow him, deliverance and casting out demons and stuff. And so he was making a point of saying, because that's lacking now in the church, these people outside of the church that are desiring supernatural experiences, they, if it was in the church, that would pull them in. And I found that interesting, like Morgan's saying, and wondering, sure, that would be cool, and I think it would intrigue them. But I might say, and Isaiah might agree with this, but the salvation gospel message, just at its truest core, if as a church we can speak the truth, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. We need Jesus, and Jesus is literally given himself so that we can be saved. Like, that's incredible. That's the epitome of power.
Mm-hmm. It is, but in my opinion, I kind of agree with Isaiah of like these celebrities who are clearly searching for something intense. Mm-hmm. Like, I think seeing them being able to see that, like, with the power of God, the blood of the Lamb, you can literally call a demon out of someone, and you can heal a human from whatever. Like,
well, and Isaiah's talked about he's actually had celebrities come to him for deliverances and stuff. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Jesus, I think they said about him, here is one, with authority. There's authority in his walk rather than just kind of empty words.
So I do think that churches do need to not be too afraid of those things. I think there needs to be a balance of, let's share the gospel. That's the biggest thing. Like, you can deliver 1 million people from demons, but if you're not sharing the gospel, those people are going to walk off and have no idea how to live their lives. And I think Isaiah fully is aware of that. I'm not saying that about Isaiah or anyone. The gospel, and they need to see the power of Jesus, the power of the Lord. I think that sadly they're not finding that.
I mean, I would say sadly you got a good amount of churches, and I think about churches that some celebrities do attend. It's kind of, in many ways, void of both of those. You're not having the authority and the power manifesting the supernatural and the spirit and gifts of the spirit, and you're also having a watered down gospel. So it's less likely to convict of sin, bring that conviction, and bring a turning to a savior, the full gospel message. So that's a shame. Just we're kind of getting off track here, but just churches and what churches are meant for and operating in the gifts of the spirit. Like, there's a lot of mysteries to that still. Like, man, I desire more clarity from the Lord, just for my own life and then for the body of Christ. Anyway, though, back to Megan. She didn't seem all that rattled by her hell experience.
Well, I feel like that just goes to show, and who knows, like, how she's processed that experience, and like if she cries every night before she goes to sleep after that experience, like, because then it's like if you don't have Jesus or knowledge of who God is after that experience, like, I feel like there's no hope. Like, I feel like it's a terrifying experience to have and come out of and be like, now what? Like, I just experienced this horrendous hell. Now what do I do? Like, how do I live my life? How do I function? How do I handle this? What do I do with this experience? And it's like, if you don't have God to run to, I don't know. I hope that she processes this and realizes that there's something so much bigger than her out there, and he has the answers. His name is Jesus.
Pray that other people come into her life that direct her towards the truth.
One last thing that I think was interesting in that video was that the guy who was interviewing her, he made a joke afterwards about hell, and then sitting with Donald Trump, and like the audience is laughing, cracking up, and like laughing about hell. And Isaiah, I think, mentioned this in his video, just like how people laugh about jokes about hell and people laugh about hell. And just how sad that is, because something that the enemy does is he tries to make hell and himself seem like a joke, seem like it's not real. And like, ha ha ha, well, if I'm going to hell, I'm going to be partying it up with the devil. And like, that is how he like wraps his hands around so many people in making them think it's not real and it is a joke and you can laugh about it. And I just think that that's so sad. And I think I didn't see Megan laugh one time, so I kind of appreciated that.
It seemed like she was taking it a little more seriously.
Yeah, like, and she mentioned, she was like, I went to hell for eternity, and someone in the audience either said something like, whoa, or ha, and she was just kind of like, yeah, I was there.
I just, like you said, I would like more expounding on it, because she's
So
talking
crazy.
about it, but what does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, what does that mean to her? Was it really hell?
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know enough about the drug trips to give a ton of clarity on that, but it was definitely something. And we were just talking last night, there have been times, and I'm sure many of you are watching have experienced something like this, but where I'll wake up from a dream and feel a very heavy demonic presence in my room, and I'll pray against it. And for the past 2 years, I've pretty much prayed every night, Lord, like, protect my dreams, protect our sleep and our dreams. And then you got people like Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly going out and actually pursuing soul, spiritual, out-of-body experiences that open you up to the demonic realm. And it's like, I mean, that's foolish. That's very foolish. And I would even go a step further to say, if you guys are engaged in watching demonic horror movies, that's another way to open yourself up to a realm that is very real and very serious and very dark. The Bible says, what fellowship does light have with darkness? All right, guys, comment below. What do you think of Megan's words, her experience that she shared? I'm just genuinely curious to know your thoughts on it. Thank you all so much for watching another week, another day in the life of Paul and Morgan. We love you guys. Hope you're doing well. We'll catch you again very soon. Have hope.
And be free.
All right, guys.